In this lesson, we will go over how to solve for zeros using the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is used when you can't factor out a polynomial to find the zeros. This formula looks like negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 multiplied by a and c, all of that over 2a. In this equation, you can find that your b number is 3. So you said that's a negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times your a, which is 1, and your c, which is 2. And then put that all over 2 times a, which again is 1. And then we will look at the square root more closely. You'll see that 3 squared is 9, and negative 4 times 1 times 2 is negative 8. So you are left with negative 3 plus or minus 1 all over 2. You will then solve for x. So x is either negative 1 or negative 2. In this equation, you will find the b is again 12. You will write negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 12 squared minus 4 times your a, which is negative 3, and then times your c, which is 1. And then have that all over 2 times a, which again is negative 3. Let's look at the square root more closely. You will find that 12 squared is 144, and negative 4 times negative 3 times 1 is positive 12. So then you are left with negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 156 all over negative 6. And then you will solve to find x. Here you see that your b is a negative number. When you have a negative b times a negative 6, it will create a positive 6 plus or minus the square root of 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 2 all over 2. When you look at the square root more closely, you will find that negative 6 squared is positive 36 minus 8. So then you're left with 6 plus or minus the square root of 24 all over 2. And then you will solve for x. Here you will see that not all the equations can be solved. So let's look at it more closely. You have positive 8 plus or minus the square root of negative 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times 17 all over 2. When you look at the equation more carefully, you will see that negative 8 squared is 64. But you're subtracting 4 minus 17, which is 68, which leaves you with a negative square root, which is not possible. So therefore, you are left with no solution.